Hey, what's up? My name's Pay, like paying the bills, and I just finished my first year of college. Since it's September and the next hellfire of exams is about to start, wonderful assessments of learning are about to commence. I thought I'd do a little reflecting on how this last year's been and how I can make this semester somehow better than the just absolutely stress-free, restful walk in the park that was my first semester. Most of my first semester was actually about Spanish. Yep, that's right. After barely passing the AP Spanish language exam from talking about a fictional country called Para-Uruguay on my free response section, I was off and running to be a Spanish-speaking mentor. Now, I don't want to give too many examples of me botching up the language since I did put this on my resume, but one not exactly language thing that happened was I get out of the Uber, I'm in the volunteer site, whatever, and my mentee is crying on the bench. So like the incredibly empathic, caring mentor I am, I go up to him and I ask in Spanish, I think, would you like a hug? And he's like, no. Well, I'm a lot of ideas at this point, so I just sit next to the kid while all the kids around me are asking in English, since I guess it's pretty obvious I'm not the greatest at Spanish, what the hell's wrong with them? I guess how that got resolved was when we went inside, I asked in Spanish, yeah, that's right, if he wanted to do a puzzle, and this time, he said yes. Then there was a time I accidentally told him I was a trumpet instead of describing myself as clumsy, but hey. And that's not all. Around halfway into the semester, I ventured back into the world of middle school, this time in Spanish. As if I didn't feel misunderstood enough. So every Monday and Wednesday at around 7:30 a.m. For about 2 months, I got in an Uber, and it wasn't easy. So there was this one time that the Uber driver called me, warning me that it was illegal for me to be leaving school during school hours because I was in middle school, and I was like, homeboy, I'm 18. I then had to explain why an 18-year-old would be out of middle school, but at least he picked me up. Then there was a driver that almost wouldn't pick me up because he thought I was 12. When he started telling me why he thought I was 12, though, was when things got kind of weird. He said, oh yeah, you just had you have a really childlike figure, and then when I saw your unicorn backpack, and I was like, yeah, that was the end of that conversation, because obviously, I still got in the car because I'd already been canceled on 3 times, but I wasn't about to quit back with, oh yeah, 12-year-old body, that's me. Skipping ahead to semester 2, I again tried my luck as a Spanish authority figure, this time in a paid position. Okay, well, it never actually happened. Let me explain. So I get this email, and it's like, hey, someone told us you could speak Spanish. Do you want to try out to be a Spanish TA? And I was like, sí, me gusta hablar el español y yo tengo un lápiz. Let's go. So I walk into the room and realize that almost everyone is a native speaker. And at first I was like, okay, just don't open your mouth. Maybe they won't ask you anything. Who knows? Okay, empecemos. Por favor, te presentas a tus compañeros penitenciarios de programa de arte. Me gusta mi reggae. In other words, I uttered the Spanish 1 answer, me llamo Pan, soy de Louisiana. Yeah. But then came the tryouts, where, long story short, I didn't. I let everyone go before me, and then asked to leave early. Wow. Also, I put the wrong phone number on my application and wrote down an address in a completely different state. It's a wonder they contacted me back. Granted to TA for the lowest Spanish class, but the guys never heard me talk. Desperation, I guess, I'm not really sure. Speaking of Spanish, I slept through class 5 times last semester, and when I went to my professor's office hours to explain why, she decided to model for me what I look like when I fall asleep in class. She was like, yeah, and then I see you and you look like this. Truly a moment to be proud of. So yeah, that was my freshman year Spanish experience. In all seriousness, I have been working pretty hard on my Spanish. I recently joined an app where you can talk to strangers in Spanish, and I passed a TA interview that happened later in the semester, and I only got corrected once. One of the guys even seemed to remember me from last time. He was like, oh, you already did it, so you don't have to do it again. And the other guy was like, no, she definitely needs to do it. But yeah, somehow at the end, I got an acceptance email. So to all those middle schoolers who made fun of me for not knowing Spanish, now I'm getting paid not to know it. Guess you could say I'm really paying the bills now, huh?